Hey guys, CJ Grizzly coming here with the real life stories and adventures of my life. And I got a lot of stories, a lot of adventures. These stories are 100% true. I lived them, I went through them, but I'm going to put them out here for everybody to enjoy. So I hope you enjoy this series. This is a true story. So in this story, guys, I had a chance to get a great deal on a 1969 Pontiac Le Mans hot rod muscle car that was totally restored from the ground up, and I got a deal of a lifetime on it. So let's get into the story and I'll tell you how it all unfolds. To start off, if I wouldn't had the money, I wouldn't have got the deal. The deal was so amazing, so incredible. When we were teenagers, back in 1979, a friend of mine named Marcus, that day was his 18th birthday. Marcus's 1-year older brother was Kenny, and Kenny was my best friend. Here is the backstory that led up to this entire deal. Kenny and Marcus's dad bought Marcus a brand new $28,000 two-seater sports car for his 16th birthday 2 years earlier. Well, the first day with the new expensive sports car, Marcus went out and wrecked and totaled the car. So, of course, the dad was very upset and very mad. The dad had insurance on the car, but he still lost a lot on it. And then he got his son Marcus another car, but it only cost a few $1,000s. For better or worse, it was basic transportation. Marcus, being a spoiled rich kid, did not like the car, but a free car is better than no car, right? So anyway, his dad was still upset about that wreck, and he was mad at Marcus for about a year and a half. He just couldn't get over it. Well, when Marcus's 18th birthday came near, his dad was thinking like, okay, that wreck was 2 years ago since Marcus crashed the sports car, and it was a convertible, and it rolled over several times. So I'm lucky Marcus is still alive right now. You know, I've been mad at my Marcus the whole time. I think what I'll do is I'll buy a 1969 or 1970 Pontiac Le Mans car and have it totally restored for his 18th birthday. Marcus's dad was a self-made millionaire. He spared no expense on the car, and everything was restored. Then he dropped a high horsepower motor in it to make it almost like a Pontiac GTO Judge. His dad bought the 1969 Pontiac Le Mans and had it sent to the best muscle shop in town. It wasn't cheap. The shop started working on it right away. He had a beefy new chromed out motor put in and totally redid the interior, the paint, put in a new hi-fi sound system, and everything was re-chromed out just like new, but beefy and more horsepower. Then they put a deep dark midnight blue metal flake paint job and brand, new chromed out Krager rims and tires on it. The project was complete and nobody knew anything about it. He said, I've had everything on the car restored and I'll give that to my son Marcus on his 18th birthday. I'll throw a massive birthday party for Marcus, and all his friends will be there when he gets the hot rod of every teenage boy's dream. So that was the plan. So a week later, here comes Marcus's 18th birthday, complete with the 18th birthday party blowout bash. So one of Marcus's brothers, Kenny, was my best friend in high school. Marcus had 3 brothers, and they were all about a year apart in age. Marcus's older brother, Kenny, and I were 19 years old. Back then, a lot of teenagers moved out of their parents' home, and we had our own house or apartment that we paid for. We had full-time jobs back then. The party was on Saturday and Friday night. Kenny and I went out clubbing, and Kenny crashed at my apartment because he had been drinking and didn't want to drive 20 miles to his house that he was renting. So the next day, instead of us both driving individually 25 miles out into the country where Marcus's birthday party was at, I rode with Kenny, and then we were going back to my apartment later after the party, and then we would go clubbing that night as it was Saturday night. So I just decided to ride with Kenny to Marcus's birthday party. So the next day was party day. We left my apartment and went to Kenny's house so he could grab a shower and exit. Then we headed out to Kenny's parents where Marcus lived with his rich parents. We arrived at the party early to help set up for the birthday bash. His dad had the 1969 Pontiac Le Mans in the garage with a car cover over it. The car had been at the custom auto shop, and the dad had it brought in last night when Marcus was out with friends. So the outdoor party started about 2 in the afternoon at their dad's country estate. There were some friends that had a band, and they were performing 70s rock songs. The father let everyone get into the fun, and some of us were drinking a little bit. Back then, 18 was the legal drinking age, so it was legal. So before everything got out of control, the dad told Marcus he had a special gift for him and he would be right back with it. Marcus had no clue about the car. None of us did. Kenny worked with his dad every day and he didn't even know about the car. We all seen Dad headed toward the garage, but we just thought the gift was being hidden in the garage and their dad was going to get it from the garage. Nobody was thinking about a car coming out of there. Their dad had cut out a little hole in the car cover where the windshield was so he could see to pull the car out of the garage without revealing the car. We heard the souped-up engine start up and everyone was at attention, and Marcus's eyes got very big with a huge grin on his face as the excitement built up through everyone at the party. Then the garage door came up as the car engine got louder, and their dad drove the car out of the garage with it still covered, except for the little peephole in the car cover. He pulled the car up to where the party was happening outside in a field. He pulled up to Marcus and yelled, "Happy birthday, son," from underneath the car cover. He told Marcus to pull the car cover off of the hot rod muscle car. His dad told him, "Here's your birthday present, son. I love you. Happy birthday." As we all yanked off the car cover, it was revealed a 1969 Pontiac Le Mans muscle car, totally restored, chromed out, deep blue metal flake paint job. It was a show car for sure. Everybody was so happy for Marcus. Everyone in the community knew about the tensions between Marcus and his dad from the 16th birthday party and how Marcus totaled the new sports car his dad had given him 2 years earlier. So everyone was happy that the family feud was over, and it was a time of celebration for all. You know this was 45 years ago, but I can still feel the emotions of that moment. Marcus loves the car. He is going crazy over the car. Dad was happy, so Marcus opened up some other gifts, and then his dad says, "Well, we're going to take a little test drive in it, son. Let's go." Marcus and his dad jump into the car. Marcus turns the key, and the power feels stout and well-built. He puts it into drive, and they go do a test drive. Marcus is driving, and Dad is the passenger. They were driving 25 miles to the big city as Dad wanted to take a good drive, since he had not had time to really drive the car since it was finished. Once they were in the big city, Marcus was going down Main Street, which had hundreds of people walking down the sidewalks, gandering at the enormous skyscrapers and blocks of buildings. They were no stranger to the big city. We all used to go there all the time. We knew traffic in the heart of the city would be slow, and you had to be careful because there were pedestrians walking all around. On the sidewalk was a group of hot teenage girls that were scantily dressed. It was the summer after all, so tight shorty shorts and halter tops were the norm. So of course Marcus is looking at the girls that are beautiful and not the road. And so what happened is the car in front of him came to a gradual stop for people crossing the street. Well, Marcus was looking and driving at the same time, and he was looking at the girls more than he was driving, and he didn't see the car in front of him was coming to a slow stop, so he just tried to stop at the last second. Marcus almost stopped in time, but basically just hit the car in front of him lightly and bent the front bumper up a little bit. They were only going 10 to 15 miles per hour or so. Not much damage to either car at all, really. But the dad went ballistic on Marcus. He told Marcus to turn off the car, and his dad went to talk to the driver whose car they had hit. There wasn't much damage at all. The dad gave them his contact information and a couple $1,000s in cash instead of calling the police and going through all that. Dad just wanted to get out of there. He was furious. Marcus's dad drove the car back home, giving Marcus an earful all the way back home. Kenny and I and all Marcus's friends were still at the party. When they got back, I guess about an hour and 30 minutes later, well, we all saw that Marcus wasn't driving his new ride, so we thought something was up. We didn't have mobile phones or cell phones back then. As they kept getting closer to us, driving up the long driveway, we could eventually see the front bumper had a small dent in it. It wasn't really that much damage, but you could see that it wasn't perfect. We were like, "Oh my gosh, what's going on here?" So once back home, there was a huge blowout between Marcus and his dad. His dad was ranting, "I just bought you another car for your birthday, and you go out here and wreck it with me in it. I gave you a brand new $28,000 sports car for your 16th birthday. You go out that night and total it. You're lucky to be alive right now, Marcus. Then on the same day, 2 years later, I give you another car that's a totally restored muscle car for your 18th birthday, and that cost another $15,000. And you go out with me in it and wreck that too. I gave the person you ran into another $2,000 to fix that. What were you thinking, Marcus?" So the bickering back and forth sort of killed the mood of the party, and everyone left except me and Marcus's three brothers, their mom, their dad, and a few other close friends. Marcus was telling his dad that the car isn't that damaged and he will fix the car himself, but Dad said no, not happening. His dad said, I'll tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to sell the car since it is still in my name. His dad looked at me and said, I'm going to sell this car to one of your best friends, CJ Grizzly, and I'm going to sell it to him for $100. My eyes got big as I looked back at his dad. I wasn't really thinking this was going to happen because he has 3 other sons that would gladly give him $100 for a $15,000 car. $100 was a steal for sure even back 45 years ago. The other 3 sons were begging their dad to sell the car to them for $100. We're your family, they said. So their dad asked me if I had $100 cash with me and he would sell me the car right now. I was stunned, but I had $100 in cash in my wallet. Now, of course, Kenny, my best friend, is going to be mad if I buy the car. Now the other 3 brothers are all hating me too. They were telling me not to buy the car, then they will get to buy it. The dad said, no, I'm not selling it to any of you because I never want to see the car again. If I sell to you, I'll have to look at it every day and be reminded of this over and over. So the dad sort of pressed me on doing the deal right then, and so I thought about it a minute. My best friend Kenny was already hating on me for even thinking of buying the car, and I thought, you know what? I'm going to buy the damn car. Because I worked hard and saved my money, I had $100, 45 years ago, $100 was a little bit of money, but I saved my money. I had the $100, and his dad said, hey, CJ, will you give me $100 for this car right here? Because I got a son that doesn't know how to drive, and he doesn't deserve it. And I said, yes, sir. I got $100 cash right now. And we did the deal. And my friend, the son, I bought his car for $100. He was mad at me, and all his brothers were mad at me too because they wanted to buy the car, and the dad wouldn't sell them the car because he didn't want to see the car ever again. And I bought the car, and I got this heck of a deal, and all I had to do was replace the bumper, guys. It did no other damage. It did nothing. It just bent the bumper a little bit. So I buy the car. My best friend Kenny, whom I rode down to the party with, wouldn't give me a ride back home, so their dad told me to go ahead and drive the 1969 Pontiac Le Mans that I just bought from him, and I could get the tag back to him tomorrow, and that's what I did. The drive home was unbelievable. I couldn't believe that I got a totally restored muscle car for $100 cash. Oddly, the mistake of a friend benefited me only because I was in the right place at the right time. I consider that a true blessing from God. I'm a truck guy, but I've owned many cars, but that 1969 Pontiac Le Mans was the best car I ever owned to this day. After 2 weeks, the drama had settled. I was best friends with my best friend again, and Marcus wasn't mad at me either. Everyone got over it and are still friends, and I got a heck of a deal because I saved my money. If I wouldn't have saved my money, I'd be like, oh, I'm sorry, I've only got $10, right? See, when you save, you're building something for yourself. That's just how it is. When you save, you are building a future. Anyway, guys, that's another one of my wild stories. I've got a lot of wild real-life stories. I have so many wild stories that you won't believe the crap that I have lived through, guys. Some of the stories are funny and good. Some are a little dark, and others are just weird. And I'm so very blessed, so humbled, so I just praise God. That's why I'm here. Anyway, we'll catch you on the next CJ Grizzly's Real Life Stories. God bless. Take care.